What's up, YouTube? Oh, shit. It's been a minute since I made a video like this, but I figured now would be a good time to speak upon some newfound insights, I suppose, out of hope that it might help someone in a similar predicament if it so happens to reach those ears and eyes and brains of whoever watches this. So I don't really know where to begin. I guess I'll start with, so I started dating a girl that I met off of a dating app, and it's gonna sound crazy because it's pretty crazy, but it wasn't off of Tinder, it wasn't off of Hinge. It just so happens that
Yeah,
what?
I low key want to get myself some Rusty Cafe. Did you want something?
I'm good.
Because I might just call and just like do a takeout order.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like driving all the way across town for something.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just making sure you're aware.
Okay. Anyways, so I started dating. I started dating this girl off of a dating app. It was this dating app called Boo, and before I knew it, or before I installed the app, I didn't know that there was like no region lock, because usually with like apps like Tinder and Hinge and Bumble, there's like you can set the distance if you're not experienced with dating apps, you can set the distance to like of reach of people you're going to be matching with, and Boo didn't have that. But what interested me about Boo is that it was like into like personality types, and it just seems more like it cared about the individual experience of each user, and it felt like it wanted people to be more like connected. So I installed the app among like three other dating apps that were garbage, and I uninstalled them immediately. And the first four matches on Boo, they were like super super hot, gorgeous women, and I was like, whoa. And one of these women happened to be a girl named Ashley. And as soon as I swiped on Ashley and then I swiped through other people, I immediately look into my match things and it's like, boom, Ashley matched with you. And I'm like, whoa. And then from like the first five sentences we spoke to each other, I knew there was something different about her. It was just weird. I could just tell. And then we proceeded to have more conversations, and then boom, a month later, we decided to start dating on Halloween, and then boom, we decide that we're just gonna fucking go to Rome for a week, and that'll be the first place that we meet. Boom, we go to Rome, have a great time, and then we come back, and then it's just crazy. Because if you would have told me like beginning of January last year that I was gonna be dating someone that I met off of a fucking dating app that lives all the way in fucking Maine while I live in New Mexico, I would have said, "No, you're fucking ridiculous." That sounds. I would have been so critical. I would be like, I would never do something so fucking stupid. But here I am doing this weird, goofy shit. And this is the first time I'm publicly speaking about it, because even in saying something like this, people are gonna be like, "Oh, oh." But love knows no bounds. And I've always said, don't love a woman until she loves you. That didn't happen. I was like, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then I went through the honeymoon phase, and then we had like arguments. Not necessarily arguments, but just like voicing our concerns for everything and all that. And what's really great about this relationship so far is the level of communication that we have. We speak about basically not everything, because not everything needs to be spoken about, and that's something that I've learned as well, which is kind of why I've taken a break from making videos like this, because not everything needs to be said, not everything needs to be known. Restraint can be practiced, restraint can be a meditation, and imply that it's hard to apply that at a younger age when you're very, at least me, I'm very impulsive sometimes, and this is going to lead into what I'm going to be talking about. Apparently I'm bipolar. Like, I've never been diagnosed, but I know my mom has bipolar. And this whole last year, before, yeah, whole 2022, like I didn't really notice the symptoms as much because I had a consistent diet, exercise routine, and sleep schedule, and the consistency kind of helped diminish the qualities of the symptoms of bipolar disorder or whatever. But since going to Rome, my shit's been fucked up. My sleep schedule, my diet, my fucking exercise routine, and everything's been way more inconsistent, which has been leading me to notice more shifts in my mood. Back when I was more of a depressed individual in my late teens, the moods would be monthly. It would be like a month of like, it'd be like 2 weeks of like awesomeness and then like a month of sorrow, or like a week of awesomeness and then like 2 weeks of sorrow, vice versa. They were more long form. But recently I've noticed they've been like shorter, like kind of like 1 week of awesomeness and then kind of like a week and a half or 2 weeks of eh. And then recently it was like 2 days of like holy fuck, so much manic energy, to just like these last 2 days of just being like just down, like not wanting to literally do anything mentally, physically, emotionally, just being like phew, apathetic, kind of just like what's the point kind of shit. And I noticed that when I get in these moods, I become way more impulsive. I start buying more video game shit. Fucking, I start jerking off more. I start fucking playing more video games, and it's fucking frustrating. And I noticed that I have more sexually repressed dreams. A reoccurring dream that I've had throughout my entire life is I'll be around a sexy lady, and either she'll be naked or we'll both be naked, and like we're about to have sex, and then we don't have sex because something happens, and then I wake up, and then I'm like kind of there with this lingering sexual tension, and then it kind of adds fuel to the fire with like my sexual fantasies and shit, which has been difficult because I'm in a relationship, and it's like I'm thinking about like other women and wanting to have sex with them, and it's not like that I have access to women to have sex to, but I'm sure if I did, it would be extremely more difficult. Um, but it's not like I want to cheat on her, but I'm still having these like thoughts of like wanting to have sex with other women, and you could probably attribute some of that to being a young adult male in his like early to mid 20s. But and then on top of that, like we don't have physical contact, so that probably also compounds the issue. And then to add to that, like I've always had these fucking issues of like sexual um like repression, I suppose. um I'm not quite sure what to do about it other than just kind of like go through it, but I figured voicing that that's an issue might bring light to someone else that has the same issues but might not understand or be aware that that's something that they struggle with. And I don't know why I needed to go into the whole backstory of this relationship to get to that point, now that I'm looking back on it, and fucking I guess it's maybe to add gravity to like why it's much more of an issue now than it was before, because before it was just like, oh, I'll just like go on Tinder and like find someone to have superficial sex with, and then boom, I'll have sex with them, and then boom, I'll go find another person. But now it's like, no, like I can't do that. That's not like, that was never really a solution. It was really just a fucking band-aid. It's not addressing it's addressing the symptoms, but it's not addressing the disease that's causing the symptoms, right? So I don't know, dude. If anyone has any fucking solutions to that, I'm sure I'll find something eventually on the internet. If I do, then I'll be sure to come back and let y'all know the new insights that I found. But for the meantime, that's kind of what I've been, not the main thing I've been dealing with, but it's one of the things that's been bothering me, because like I said, it's been bothering me my entire fucking life. But now it's like, oh, I really need to like deal with this. And then on top of that, I'll voice some other shit too. I'll voice some other shit that someone might find themselves in a similar predicament with. So for the longest time, I always knew that I just wanted to be a part of the things that I love. I didn't really knew what that entailed. I always knew that I loved music and movies, and I knew that I wanted to be a part of them somehow. And originally, I was like, "Ooh, I'll just be like a streamer, and I'll just like make movie reviews, and I'll just talk about it, and then that'll be my inclusion into the things that I love." But it's like, no, I want to be creating stuff with people that share the same sentiments and the same passions and the same mindsets and the same. I just want to be in a creative environment with creatively like-minded people. And for the longest time, I convinced myself that it's like living here. This environment that I live in is not conducive to fulfilling those dreams. So I balance it out. It's like, ooh, I get to spend time with my family. They're not going to be around forever. I get to make memories with them. I get to save money, and I just get to just fucking chill. I don't have to pay no rent. I have an easy job. Fucking get to, yeah. And then on the other hand, it's like, well, I'm not making new friends. I'm not making new connections. I'm not having new experiences. I'm not making strides and steps to fulfill my dreams. So it's like, it was originally like this, but now it's becoming like, it's kind of like right here. And Ashley has helped me kind of add more, or take more weight off of this. Because going to Rome, dude, like I'd never traveled by myself, not even internationally, or not even in the States, like by myself. So going to Rome, not only was I breaking my fucking travel virginity of traveling by myself, but also traveling internationally, and that was fucking a lot. I fucking did it, and it just kind of helped me overcome a lot of shit mentally. So now it's like I'm actually thinking of like considering moving out and like taking steps to fulfilling my dreams, because I really want to make movies. Like I love making music. I love making music. I don't want to make a living off of it. I just like, it's like video editing. It's like I don't want to make a living off of it. I just like doing it with my own stuff. I don't want to like have people pay me to do it. I just want to I just like doing it for my own shit. It's like the same thing with music. It's just like I just like doing it because it's creatively satisfying. I don't want to do it for any money. But movies, man, like, I've never made a movie, so I don't know. Maybe that'll change when I actually do get into the atmosphere of like movies and stuff. But like, I'm always learning about movies. I'm always watching movies. It's the same thing with music, but like, I've never even gotten close to making a movie. Like, the only thing I do similar to that is like fucking film analysis, like watching film analysis videos and like coming up with my own interpretations and video editing. But outside of that, like, I don't know. No real experience, but I have so much passion for it. I have so much passion for it. Like, it pumps my blood. It gets my heart pressure up. I'm like, oh, I wanna, oh, ha, he, ha, you know. Um, yeah. I don't know where I'm going with all this. I'm just kind of going on a ramble, but what I'm really hoping is that I fucking connect with someone that shares similar fucking experiences, and I'm hoping that this helps them in some way to kind of like compartmentalize and process this shit. Because like speaking upon shit and like getting it from your brain to your mouth to the world is a way of processing, which is why like when people are trying to give advice and it comes off as like, oh, they're really talking to themselves, that's a form of processing. Because that's kind of what I'm doing right now, in a sense too. I'm trying to process this shit, but I also want to share it because I feel like there's a sentiment behind it that might be able to help someone. Because I know there's people that experience the same shit. Well, I should probably charge my phone. But yeah, man, I gotta charge my phone because I gotta get ready for work. But yeah, I hope y'all got something from this. If not, well, I'm sorry I wasted your time. In the meantime, just find something you love, and if you haven't found something you love, just keep trying different shit. And maybe like the thing that you love isn't like writing music or being creative. Like everything is creative, right? Helping people with creative, fucking being like figuring out, because everything is a problem. You have to figure out how to solve problems. That's what's gonna, you have to be creative with how you solve problems. Like for me, like I love like figuring out how to fucking write music because it's like solving a fucking jigsaw puzzle kind of. And it's the same thing with like whatever you find passionate. You might find animals. You might be passionate about animals. You might be passionate about fucking helping humans. You might be passionate about math. Whatever it is, find your lane and commit time and energy to it. Commit your time and attention to the things that you love, because your time and your attention are the most valuable things you could give to anything in your entire life, and you only have a finite amount of it. So really hone in on what the fuck you give a fuck about and give that shit your time and attention. So I'm gonna leave you with that, and then I'm gonna fucking charge my phone. So smooches.